All right, guys. Sorry, I had to move from where I was at. Apologies. So, again, like I was trying to tell you, is the V is a vowel and it makes the sound B. It's a V. So, I'm going to write it on here and I'll do my best to show you on how I'm writing it, considering where I'm at. And we start at the top. Don't do it upside down. I just want to make sure that you guys can see it. So we're going to slant right and slant up, slide up. Remember, try not to make straight lines. If you do straight lines, it's not going to look like a V. It's kind of like vampire, his two little teeth right there. We're going to make a V. So that's a capital V that we start at the very top. And we go slide down and then go up that hill, okay? So for the lowercase letter, remember, again, we start at our midline, and it's going to be the same way. It's not going to be a straight line. It's kind of like at an angle, and then go up. And you don't pick up your pencil, except for mine's not cooperating with me right now. So I just want to make sure you guys see it on the line here on ones that are perfectly straight. But since it's not the best thing, we are going to try it. Let's see with our pink. See if the pink works. And I'm going to try it on this one that I had as a backup, just in case. All right, so let me try it on here so you guys can hopefully see it better, because that's my goal, that you guys can see it. So again, start here. And it's going to go not straight, at an angle coming down. Do you guys see that? And you don't pick up your pencil. I'm just doing it so you guys can see it. So if I were to redo it, it would go down and up. All right. Again, it looks like a kind of like a tooth, vampire tooth, right? A V. And lowercase v, we do the same thing, except we stay underneath this midline. Nope, don't do that last part. There you go. Do you guys see it? Capital V, lowercase v. Now, if I were to show you how we want to try not to do is, I told you just a second ago, right? It was not to do straight lines. If we do, it doesn't come out the same way. Watch, I'm going to show you why. So if we do a straight line down and a straight line up, except for mine looks a little wiggly, does that V look like this V? No, right? And then sometimes we'll go what could I have done differently right there? Well, maybe see how mine goes at an angle. This one goes kind of almost straight, right? So avoid those straight lines. You kind of make them go downhill, and then they're going up at an angle. And the most importantly, we always tell you guys this, make sure you finger space. Do you guys see how close these are? I can barely see a little bit of space right here, and I can't tell anything on the other ones. And another important thing is make sure you're starting at the very top, and it comes all the way to the bottom line, stays within these lines to make a capital V. The same thing for the lowercase v, just it stays underneath this midline and it comes down to the bottom line. So just try to make sure you stay within those, because if you do a really, really, really tiny V, it is underneath the midline, but it doesn't start from the midline, and it doesn't come down straight to this one, okay? So we want to try to avoid those if possible. And the only way we're going to get better at this is by practicing. So whenever you practice, I want you guys to take out your, because this is so awesome, because you can erase them and do it again. Erase them and do it again. And just keep saying, this is the letter V. This is the letter B. This is the letter V, not a B. Remember, this is the B over here. Where'd it go? This is the B for Bubba Bear. B. We're practicing the letter V. V. B, V, V. So first thing you do is always the same. You'll pick up your pencil and to write your name to make sure we don't forget how. Then I want you guys to practice. You could even practice tracing it first with your finger. Slant right, slant up. And then it's the letter V. Make sure you say the letter every time you write it. I'm going to do it in red because this is the thin one that I have right now. But you can do it in whatever color as long as you're saying it's the letter V. It is not a vowel. It is a consonant. Don't forget that, guys. So we start here. Trace it down. And trace it up. That's the V. Oh, I didn't realize. I got a little wiggly here. But then I'll make sure I leave space between my V and my other one. And down. That doesn't help. So, oops, I made a mistake. I'm going to try it again. See if I could do it this way. There, you guys can see it there. So, I'm going to do it over again, and that's okay. Down. And up. Then I make sure I leave space in between them. That's the letter V, and it makes the sound V, V, V. Remember to take your time. If you go super fast, does it look like I traced them on top of them? You have to make sure you guys take your time and that your V's are on top of those dotted lines that they provide for you guys, okay? And every time you trace it, you say V. V, 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 V. V makes the sound V, V, V. Capital V, lowercase v. Make sure you trace both of them. And once you take your picture to turn in for your teacher, you may erase it. All right, guys? Remember, the letter V. Your turn.